Hello and welcome to this video, which will be reacting to Serbia's song for Eurovision 2025, Mila by Princ. A disclaimer. Israel shouldn't be allowed to participate at the Eurovision Song Contest 2025. The shortest and simplest reason being that I find the actions of the Israeli government to be abhorrent and their broadcaster isn't a separate entity. My reasons in their entirety, however, are numerous and too detailed for a disclaimer like this, but videos closely aligning with my point of view are listed in the description. I encourage you to watch those videos and do something. Further resources are added as and when they become relevant. I'll stop addressing this when it no longer needs to be addressed. This is a surprise winner, I think, the first one in quite a little while. Everyone was talking about Turbojurka, Aladdin, Mask, and Bojana and David's song, I think, were the four main contenders for the win. There were a couple others maybe as well, but Mila, I don't think was on anyone's radar to win. People have already been calling that this wasn't necessarily a fair win, that there might have been something shady going on behind the scenes. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything more about that than what I just did. People have been saying it. I don't know anything. Something that I'd completely forgotten to say while recording the video, but I totally meant to, is that the national final got moved up a day to the Friday, so that it presumably wouldn't clash with a big student protest. That's not the official reason given by the Serbian broadcaster, but that's what everyone assumes. The student protests have been going on for quite a few months now in Serbia, and I wish all the power to them. Honestly, they seem to be pretty resilient, which is what you need in a protest. I do wonder if some people will also say that the results have something to do with that, because a few of the artists for Princ Mila were quite outspoken in support of the student protests. I don't know. I don't know enough about the situation to be able to judge that, but it has been quite a turbulent Princ Mila season for everyone, so this surprise winner could also have something to do with that. I don't know. I'm not an expert, just wanted to point it out for the future so that we all know the context of how the song for Eurovision 2025 got chosen in Serbia. This is what Serbia has chosen. It was around the middle of my rankings when I gave all of the songs for Princ Mila one listen, so maybe after a second listen and seeing the staging it will become better for me. I don't know. I truly barely remember this song. I listened to hundreds of songs during the Eurovision season, and apart from my favourites of each season, or if a song gets spoken about a lot by other people, I forget a lot of them. So this is almost like a first reaction to the song, and it is a first reaction to the staging. I know nothing about the staging, so I'm gonna go ahead and just say that I'm gonna react to the song now. Starting on a rose and piano notes, and the rose dies. And then he's like the DreamWorks kid. Stable enough vocal for this start. And there's quite a contrast with his muscles and tattoos to the little prince theming. I don't know if it is the Little Prince. Okay. There's a lot of emotion being put into this. He's also not looking at the camera at all yet. Oh, that was almost a look at the camera. He's got a very particular look. Ooh, I like the floor being the surface of the moon. And now he is looking at the camera. The songs change up musically, and he's changed up the staging style as well. That works, that's good. Oh, I like this a cappella chorus much more than the first one, personally. Balkan ballad. This is our Balkan ballad for the year. Well, I guess how much time do we have left counts. That is quite an outfit though, for such a ballady song. Quite a look. This is a nice little instrumentation. Almost flamenco-ish, almost. Not really, I know. Ooh, and there's an aerial spinner. I've forgotten what this kind of dancing is called. I mean, aerial spinning I think is an accurate description, even if that's not what the thing is actually called. Oh, I like this last chorus even more. Every chorus progressively I like more and more. With the rocky elements. And the Festivali Kengish guitar. Oh, and he's got a tiny rose. Oh, that ends a little bit abruptly. I thought there was going to be a tiny bit more. Couple more notes, couple more seconds of the song, but yeah, that's a Balkan ballad. We need those at Eurovision. This one's also in Serbian, whereas how much time do we have left is in English, and they are in separate semi-finals. This is in the second half of the second semi-final, and it's the only true ballad we've got so far in that half. We will be getting a ballad from Israel, and Denmark could theoretically still choose something ballady this weekend. Georgia, absolutely no information from them. We don't know what they're doing, so we'll see. And Czechia, so far the song sounded pretty ballady when it was performed in Malta Eurovision Song Contest in the first semi-final, but that was an acoustic version, so I imagine the actual studio version, which is being released next week, will be fairly different. So it's the only ballad so far in the second half of the second semi-final, but it is in the same semi-final as Dobrodošli by Nina Zizic. I can't tell you upon this first listen which one I prefer personally. I don't know that yet. I think it's probably gonna be Mila if I have to guess. There's a lot of different parts of the song. It builds, it changes, it evolves. But I don't know. Maybe I'm forgetting Dobrodošli completely. It was chosen 3 months ago and maybe I'm disregarding it for that. I'm curious to see where everyone else has put it, but first, whether this can qualify. Based on the fact that it is going to be the later of the two ballads performed and the only male ballad that we have so far for the semi-final, I'd say it's not dead on arrival. I think there's definitely some ideas for the staging. I don't know how much the actual text of the song has to do with the Little Prince, because this seemed like the Little Prince staging to me. I might be wrong about that, but with the rose and the moon, that's what I get from it. Let me know if I'm wrong. Please do. Genuinely. I am giving you my first honest reaction, and if I'm wrong, I apologise. This is what I think of for the first time, though, when watching the live performance. I do think this can qualify. I don't think it's a secure qualifier yet. We need to see the full Eurovision staging package. Obviously, that's always the case for almost every song. There's only a few standouts where you're like, this is definitely qualifying. There's almost no songs you can say this is a definite non-qualifier before we actually see the staging. A few of them you could say probably, but I think there's almost nothing you can actually say that about without seeing the final staging, because people can come out with ideas from nowhere, it seems. So I think it's got a chance, especially being performed later. That is good, and in a pretty crazy half as well, with Finland and Malta at least in that half, and I think Australia's in the first half of that semi-final as well. So this might be a little bit of a palate cleanser. People might think this is sane in a sea of crazy. I don't know. We've still got quite a few songs missing from that semi-final, comparatively, it feels like. So things could still shift around the vibes of the semi-final, but right now I'm betting on, if I really had to bet, yes, just about. I think the vocals seemed good enough. As I say, this is just my first listen, and I was only listening in one earbud, so it could be that I've missed things. the first chorus, I wasn't sure if those notes were being hit as I was listening to it. The rest of it seemed exactly as I expected it to be. We just need to see a lot more of the package, to be honest, to know if it will. But if I had to bet right now, I would be betting on just about yes. In the final then, probably around the mid-table, because juries will give it some love for being a ballad and hopefully well performed, but I don't see this being a massive televote magnet right now. I think we might still get stronger ballads, maybe still, but that's just on my first listen. Maybe this will grow on me like crazy. I don't know. I do tend to have a bit of a soft spot for the Balkans because of Joker Out, mostly. So we'll see how it develops in the season for me. But I am curious to see how it is stacking up in the community. A couple hours after it's been chosen, it's not been all that long, and it has landed in second to last. We've got 3 ballads right at the bottom. Dobrodošli with quite a few more points than Mila, and then even less points than Mila. There's how much time do we have left? That's not exactly surprising to me. The community on my Eurovision scoreboard loves gully bops and them coming from women, so this is neither of those things. But I don't know, I thought maybe it would be a little bit higher. I'm not truly surprised, but it could have been a little bit higher is what I was expecting, because the staging was pretty ambitious. Maybe the vocal was bad, I don't know. I need to give it another listen in peace, but this is just for the first reaction. I guess it's fair that it's at the bottom of my Eurovision scoreboard. That's kind of what I expect, especially because a lot of people were expecting other songs to win Pesma za Eurovision. So if they've got their favourites and they were really rooting for any of them, Aladdin or Turbo Żurka or Mask or Bojan David or whatever else, there's a little bit of a grieving process after that whenever there's a surprise winner and people are like, we wanted this other song, and then eventually it's like, what a great Eurovision performance most of the time. So we might also be in a bit of a grieving period before this song maybe gets a few more points over the coming weeks. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, overall, decently enjoyable for me on the first watching of the stage performance. Curious to see how it will develop. I imagine I'll initially have it pretty low down in my rankings, and with the season it might climb up a few spots. That's my best guess as of right now. Probably qualifying in one of the last few spots and then coming around mid to lower mid table of the grand final. But that's just my prediction for right now. Everything could still change when we see the complete package in Basel. So I wish Princ all the best and just have fun at Eurovision, and I'm curious to see how the song will develop for me, if I will like it more and more as the season goes on. And that is everything that I forgot to say about Princ Mila for Serbia at Eurovision 2025. Please do let me know what you think down in the comments below. Are you okay with Mila winning? Were you hoping for something else? Do actually tell me what you're thinking down in the comments below, and please remember to literally like the video if you liked watching it, and share it with someone else you think might enjoy watching the video as well. If you'd like to, subscribe to the channel for more Eurovision 2025 and beyond content. But thank you ever so much just for watching the video itself, though. That's a great help as is. I really do hope that you enjoyed it, that got something out of it. I'll see you in the next one that shows up on your feed. Bye! And Robin was being very huggy today, so she is, I guess, also getting in the feels of the song.